Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we turn our attention to a powerful story out of Gauteng, where the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department has made a major breakthrough in the fight against organized crime. A coordinated operation in Norkem Park, carried out with the help of private security firms, has resulted in the arrest of 3 suspects and the seizure of a shocking amount of illicit drugs and stolen goods, including high-value lithium solar batteries. Let's break down what happened and what it means for crime fighting in South Africa. It all started with a tip-off, an anonymous lead that guided law enforcement to a house on Du Plessis Avenue in Norkem Park. What they found there was far more serious than anyone expected. Inside the house, police uncovered a cache of powerful, Schedule 5 prescription drugs, including ketamine, pethidine, and morphine. These are not over-the-counter medications, they're potent painkillers and sedatives that are tightly controlled under South African law, only accessible through a registered medical professional. But that's not where the story ends. While officers were securing the property, 2 vehicles arrived at the scene, a silver Mazda BT F50 and a white Toyota Hilux. These weren't just random visits. The vehicles were loaded with high-value lithium solar batteries, the kind increasingly targeted by criminals due to their growing demand and resale value amid South Africa's energy crisis. It became immediately clear that this was a key moment in disrupting a much larger criminal operation. Alongside the narcotics and stolen batteries, officers also seized a large quantity of cash. The presence of that money, combined with the scale and nature of the contraband, strongly suggests that the suspects are linked to a criminal syndicate specializing in the illegal distribution of pharmaceuticals and stolen energy infrastructure. Authorities believe the syndicate may be part of a broader network operating across Gauteng and possibly beyond, moving stolen goods and restricted substances through black market channels. And let's be honest, in a country grappling with load shedding and public safety challenges, crimes like these cut deep. Not only do they exploit gaps in the healthcare and energy systems, but they also undermine the public sense of security and trust in the rule of law. The 3 suspects are currently in custody, and law enforcement officials say more arrests could follow as investigations deepen. Charges are expected to include possession and distribution of controlled substances, as well as theft and possibly racketeering. If convicted, they could face long prison sentences, especially given the severity of the substances involved. But what makes this case stand out isn't just the haul, it's the way it was brought to light. This operation is a textbook example of successful collaboration between Metro Police and private security firms. In a time when community safety is under constant pressure, partnerships like this show us what's possible when intelligence is shared and resources are combined. It also reminds us that ordinary citizens, those who report suspicious activity, are a critical link in the fight against crime. And let's not ignore the broader context here. The illegal trade in prescription medications is growing, not only in South Africa but globally. Syndicates exploit weak regulatory systems, poor record keeping, and corruption to move stolen or expired medical stock. The presence of ketamine and morphine, drugs often used in hospitals and trauma care, is especially alarming. These aren't just being stolen from pharmacies, in some cases, they're diverted from clinics and medical suppliers, raising even more questions about how deep the corruption goes. On the energy front, the theft of solar batteries highlights a troubling new trend. As more South Africans and businesses turn to renewable energy solutions to escape the grip of Eskom's rolling blackouts, criminals are seeing opportunity. Lithium batteries, which can cost tens of thousands of rand, are being ripped from homes, businesses, and storage facilities, and moved quickly through underground markets. Their resale potential, combined with weak traceability, makes them a lucrative target for thieves. So what can we take away from this? Firstly, crime in South Africa is not just about violence or petty theft. It's sophisticated. It's well organized. And it often intersects with critical sectors like healthcare and energy. The syndicates behind these operations don't just hurt individual victims, they attack public systems and undermine efforts to build a more resilient society. Secondly, this story is a wake-up call for greater investment in proactive policing and community partnerships. We often hear complaints about slow police response times or rising crime stats, but here we see what's possible when law enforcement is given the tools, support, and intelligence needed to act decisively. And finally, it's a reminder for all of us, stay vigilant. If you see something suspicious in your community, report it. Crime syndicates thrive on silence and fear. But when ordinary people speak up, police can act, and as we've seen in Norkem Park, they can strike hard. We'll be keeping a close eye on how this case develops, especially as investigators work to uncover the full extent of the syndicate's reach. The charges that follow, and the sentences that may be handed down, will send a strong message about how seriously these crimes are taken. If you found this breakdown informative, make sure to like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more in-depth coverage of crime, politics, and justice in South Africa. We'll keep bringing you the stories that matter. Thanks for watching, see you next time.